Welcome back to Dalsan TV English News. My name is Abdulrazak Ali. The president of Jubaland, Ahmed Islam Madobe, has said that the war to liberate Jubaland region from the militant group Al-Shabaab will continue until total peace is realized. President Islam spoke while inspecting areas liberated from the militants in Lower Juba regions such as Kumbale, Lower El Ade, Anjil, Harbole, and Janai, which had been under the control of the Al-Shabaab militants. The president of Jubaland, Ahmed Islam Madobe, has said that the war to liberate Jubaland region from the control of the Al-Shabaab militia group will continue until total peace is realized. President Madobe spoke while inspecting areas liberated from the militant in the Lower Juba region such as Kumbale, Elad, Angel, Harbole, and Jannah Abdallah, which had been under the control of Al-Shabaab for a long time. He further commended the various military units fighting against the militants in the region, saying it is through their sacrifice that Jubaland people are living in peace, and said soon all areas in the region will be liberated. Jubaland Army, backed by Artemis forces with the support from the US Africa Command, have been fighting to liberate and have reported progress, even though there is still a relatively strong presence of the Al-Shabaab militants in the region. The federal government of Somalia, which has launched the second phase of the fight against Al-Shabaab, has registered great success in the war, and government sources report that so far over 700 militants and their bases taken over by government and regional forces. Reporting for Dalsan TV, I am Abdulrazak Ali. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres arrived in Mogadishu on Tuesday morning for his second visit to Somalia since coming into office. The UN chief was received by Foreign Affairs Minister Abshir Haruse. A military unit was also standby to grant the UN head a guard of honor at the airport.
The UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres has appealed for an urgent international response to the drought situation in Somalia. Speaking during a joint media conference with President Hassan Sheikh Mohamud, the UN chief said Somalia was suffering the effects of climate change, yet it hardly contributes to global warming.
We are particularly encouraged by the recent agreement that was established in relation to the different matters of power sharing. And I'm also here to ring the alarm on the need of massive international support. Massive international support because of the humanitarian difficulties the country is facing, massive humanitarian support in relation to the build-up of a security capacity in Somalia, and massive humanitarian support in stabilization and development of the country. Somalia is experiencing its worst series of 5 years of drought in recorded history, and I hope that the rain that is coming will persist and will help address the very challenging situation that was created in the country by drought. And although Somalis make virtually no contribution to climate change, as a matter of...
Guterres also said the UN stands with Somalia for peace, security, and sustainable development. On his part, President Mohamud called the UN support in stabilizing newly liberated regions in the country. He also noted that his administration was closely working with the UN and other partners to respond to the ongoing drought, economic reforms, and lifting of the arms embargo.
China has promised to continue to support the federal government of Somalia's development projects. Speaking in Mogadishu while meeting with the Prime Minister Hamza Abdi Barre, the Chinese ambassador to Somalia, Fei Chengchao, said Somalia is a strategic friend of China.
Chinese government has pledged to increase its support to Somalia thanks to a meeting between Somali Prime Minister Hamza Abdi Barre and Chinese ambassador to Somalia Fei Chengchao. In a meeting held in Mogadishu on Monday, the two leaders discussed the relation between the two countries as well as cooperating in development, security, and economy. Hamza thanked the Chinese government for its commitment to Somalia, which is struggling to bounce back on its feet following 3 decades of civil war. On his part, Ambassador Chengchao reiterated China's commitment to support Somalia's reconstruction and socio-economic development. He also expressed his government's readiness to collaborate with Somalia in other sectors such as agriculture, fishery, and health.
The elite Somali forces, Danab and Gorgor, have successfully recaptured Ali Afrah, a village near recently liberated district of Galad in Galgaduud region. The village is approximately 18 kilometers from the Galad district between Budbud and Tawfiq in the Galgaduud region. Elite Somali commando forces Danab and Gorgor have successfully recaptured Ali Afrah, a village near recently liberated district of Galad in the Galgaduud region. The village is approximately 18 kilometers from the Galad district between Budbud and Tawfiq in the Galgaduud region. Mohammed Muallim Abukar Hassan, also known as Sharib commander of the 9th Unit, 18th Battalion of the Gorgor Regiment, was among the officers leading the forces. He informed the media that Al-Shabaab fighters had fled the village before government forces arrived and they encountered no resistance. The commander emphasized that the country's forces are continuing in their operations to regain control of areas still under Al-Shabaab's control in the Galgaduud region and throughout Somalia. Danab receives training from US while Turkey trains Gorgor. Last week, government forces liberated several villages in the lower Shabelle region, including Aukumbale, El Ade, Angel, and Sanai Abdalle, following intensive anti-Al-Shabaab operations. Thank you so much for watching Dalsan TV English News. My name is Abdulrazak Ali. Have a lovely